Tonight, another epic Game 7 is about to commence, which made me wonder what are the greatest Game 7s in NBA history. Today, I put together my list, but let me be clear, this is just my list, and I could see this group being ranked in so many different ways, especially when you consider how many honorable mentions there are. With that being said, nobody's list will look the exact same, so let me know in the comments how your list differs from mine. Let's get into it. Number 7. Blazers and Lakers in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. At the time, many people believed that the winner of this game would be the eventual winner of the NBA Finals, as the Western Conference was significantly stronger than the East during this era. In a way, this game has become the symbolic representation of the beginning of the Shaq and Kobe dynasty, as the iconic lob between the two late in the game remains as one of the most iconic moments of basketball history. Unlike just about every other game on this list, this Game 7 wasn't all that close throughout, considering how Portland held a significant lead throughout most of the game, with the Lakers appearing a bit sluggish out of the gates. But inevitably, that was all set up for one of the greatest playoff comebacks of all time, as the Lakers found themselves down by 15 points early in the fourth quarter. As guys like Kobe, Shaq, and Brian Shaw started heating up, Los Angeles was locking down Portland defensively, as the Blazers went ice cold, missing 13 straight shot attempts during the heart of the fourth quarter. By the time Portland finally started to figure out their offense, it was too late, as the Lakers had all the momentum, capped off with the iconic moment that put the game away. Number 6. Hawks and Celtics in the 1988 Eastern Conference Semifinals. This is easily one of the greatest solo duels that the league has ever seen, as Dominique Wilkins of the Atlanta Hawks was extremely hot, while Larry Legend refused to be denied down the stretch. To this day, this game is famously referred to as the duel. The human highlight film was basically unstoppable right from the opening tip-off, as he was efficiently hitting everything from the field, leading the offense for his team. Larry waited until the fourth quarter to really start heating up though, as both superstars continued to trade difficult baskets. Wilkins scored 16 points in the final quarter, but Bird proceeded to show his legendary clutch gene as well, as he scored 20 points in the fourth quarter alone on a remarkable 9 of 10 shooting from the field. The lead continued to go back and forth in the final minutes, and it all came down to one possession. Dominique had a chance to tie the game with a 3-point shot, but Danny Ainge wisely intentionally fouled Wilkins, forcing him to shoot 2 free throws instead. Wilkins made the first and then proceeded to miss the second on purpose, but the Hawks couldn't recover possession and the Celtics won the game 118 to 116. On the night, Wilkins dropped 47 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, while his teammate Doc Rivers had 16 points and 18 assists. Larry Bird finished with 34 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds, as he added this epic performance to his already legendary resume. Number 5. Celtics and Lakers in the 2010 NBA Finals. If you don't like defensive slugfests, then you probably won't appreciate this game being on the list. During the Lakers and Celtics rivalry days of this era, physicality was always a defining aspect of these matches, and with that being the case, the refs basically put away their whistles for much of the 7th game, and let the players decide the outcome for themselves. Thanks to this mentality from the refs and players, Game 7 of the 2010 Finals may have been the most physical basketball game that I've ever seen since the turn of the millennium. Kobe Bryant famously shot only 6 of 24 from the field this night, but the thing is, almost everyone shot poorly, as Pau Gasol was 6 of 16, Ron Artest was 7 of 18, Paul Pierce was 5 of 15, and Ray Allen was only 3 of 14. Again, all of that translates to an extremely ugly, low-scoring game, but it was ugly in all the right ways, as the defense and brutality of the matchup took center stage. One of the key aspects of this physical game was the rebounding, and both Kobe and Gasol rose to the occasion, as the Mamba snagged 15 rebounds while Gasol got 18 of his own. In the final few minutes of this close battle, things got really exciting, as Kobe, Gasol, and Artest each made their own clutch shots down the stretch, while the Celtics made big shots of their own, doing everything they could to prevent the game from slipping away. In the final seconds, the Lakers got a much-needed stop, as they executed their revenge over their rivals in what is the most recent chapter of the Lakers vs. Celtics rivalry. Number 4. Celtics and Lakers in the 1969 NBA Finals. At this point in history, the Lakers had been eliminated in the finals by the Celtics over and over again, but the Lakers had just acquired Wilt Chamberlain to play alongside of Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, so the players and organization finally believed they were the better team than Boston, and were poised to win a championship. The Lakers owner Jack Kent Cooke was so confident that his team would win that he ordered thousands of balloons to be hanging from the rafters, with a text "World Champion Lakers" printed onto them. When Game 7 began, it was anything but easy for Los Angeles. Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West both showed up with their best efforts, putting up monstrous stat lines for their teams. Unfortunately for LA, Chamberlain had to leave the game in the final few minutes due to his leg injury. Jerry West was then forced to take on more of the load offensively. As for the Celtics, not only was Bill Russell securing 21 rebounds, but the entire team had a well-rounded attack, as 3 of Russell's teammates, Havlicek, Bryant, and Jones, scored at least 20 points. The game was incredibly close and suspenseful down the stretch, and Jerry West proved why he was known as Mr. Clutch, as he dropped a 40-point triple-double in the deciding game. Ultimately, the Hall of Fame loaded Celtics were just too much, as they narrowly won the game 108-106. Jerry West might have been named the Finals MVP, but I don't think Russell minded, as he earned his 11th championship ring. Number 3. The 76ers and Celtics in the 1981 Eastern Conference Finals. This was an epic matchup between the 2 best players in the Eastern Conference, Larry Bird and Julius Erving. At one point, the Celtics were down 3-1 in the series, yet they had stormed back to force a 7th game, as Larry Bird was determined to win his first championship ring. With a trip to the NBA Finals on the line, both of these extremely talented teams put forth their best efforts. In total, 7 Hall of Famers were competing in this fantastic game. Once again, this game was a prime example of referees putting away their whistles and letting the team settle the score for themselves. The game was fast-paced, but it was also quite intense from a physical standpoint. Neither team was lacking in the energy department, as the hustle plays were clearly on display from both sides. This game was also a block party, as a total of 16 shots were rejected on this evening, as no one was willing to give up any easy baskets. There were constant lead changes throughout the contest, and the energy in the building was some of the best playoff atmosphere that I've ever seen. Larry Bird was a beast defensively, and the Celtics needed a couple of clutch stops down the stretch. The game was tied at 89 with only a minute remaining, when Larry got a crucial stop on Darryl Dawkins. Bird then got the rebound and stormed down the court, where he hit the game-winning basket in what was one of the most clutch sequences in playoff history. On the night, Dr. J had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks, while Larry Bird got the win with 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. Number 2. 76ers vs. Raptors in the 2019 Eastern Conference Semifinals. Although this game is remembered fondly for the iconic final shot, many people forget just how great this game was leading up to that moment. The shot making in the fourth quarter was insane, as both teams shot at least 50% in the quarter. No one was willing to go down without a fight, and in the final 8 minutes alone, there were 3 different ties and 4 different lead changes, as clutch performers like Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard were providing some late-game heroics. In those last 12 minutes, Butler scored 10 points, while Kawhi poured in 15 of his own in that window. With only 4 seconds left in the game, Kawhi Leonard did his thing, hitting one of the most famous game winners in NBA history. To this day, it's the only game-winning buzzer beater in the 7th game of the playoffs. Quite the legendary way to end a legendary game. On the night, Leonard had 41 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals, leading his team down the road to an NBA championship. Before we look at the top spot, here is my long list of honorable mentions. Should any of these have made the top 7? Let me know below. Number 1. Cavaliers vs. Warriors in the 2016 NBA Finals. Was there ever really a question about which game would take the number 1 spot? As far as the magnitude of the moment, it really doesn't get any bigger than this. The Warriors and Cavaliers were in the middle of their rivalry, as the teams were in a finals rematch for the NBA championship. Along with that, Golden State was looking to finish off their 73-9 record-breaking season, and a victory likely would have earned them the title of the greatest team in NBA history. On the other hand, you had the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had come back from a 3-1 deficit, and with a victory, they would achieve the greatest upset in NBA Finals history. None of the prior 6 games in the series had been all that close, but obviously that wouldn't be the case for Game 7. The intensity was there throughout, as neither team wanted to be on the wrong side of history. From the beginning to the end, this contest was a complete nail-biter for both fan bases, as the game had a grand total of 20 separate lead changes. With about 1 minute remaining, the Cavs proceeded to have 2 of the most famous plays in basketball history. The first was the remarkable chase-down block by LeBron James, and the second was the clutch 3-point shot from Kyrie Irving to give the Cavaliers the lead. Ultimately, the Cavs held on to win this game with a final score of 93-89, as LeBron James became only the 3rd player to have a triple-double in a 7th game of the NBA Finals. So what do you guys think? How does your list differ from mine? I look forward to hearing some of your rankings in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.